So here we are, the start of the day that was the culmination of the hours I spent grinding this game out. For this very moment, it all came down to this. But let's go back a little bit before we really get into it. At 4:08 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on June 10th, Steven made an announcement. Chicken Gang versus Bacon Gang. It would be happening at Wildering Forest at 10 a.m. June 15th. It was an announcement of an official war. Initially, I really didn't care. It really wasn't something I had an interest in, and I simply didn't align with either side. About 2 days later, I saw some people talking about it, and I decided to look at the announcement again. And I saw that not many people seemed to align with the Bacon Gang. And I didn't have anything else going on that day, so I signed up. But I wasn't just gonna be a sign up, I was gonna do a lot more. So I started spending every single day grinding with one specific thing in mind: to hit the milestone of a 20 damage cap. I was grinding this day in, day out. This meant I needed death 50 and about physical level 68. A pretty high goal. I was about death 40 and physical level 61 at the time when I made this decision. I didn't have a lot of time for this goal, but I wasn't just gonna miss it. Why would I? I had to fight for the underdog. At least that was what I wanted to do. The night before the war, I had, in fact, hit my goal. I could do upwards of 20 damage with a death board against a physical hoodie. With the high physical level, the high enchant, and the damage multiplication from a strong attack, I could hit 20. And during this time, I'd thought of something that the bacons had that the chickens didn't: a second type. See, the chicken hoodie has an inherent physical typing. There are no other versions of the chicken hoodie. The bacon hoodie has three versions: a raw bacon, cooked bacon, and a burnt bacon. Both raw and cooked had the physical typing, but the burnt hoodie had the fire type. See, chances were the chicken gang really hadn't thought about that. They had all brought death boards in preparation of the physical typing of the cooked bacon hoodie. But that's why I brought a burnt hoodie, because I thought if I could manage to avoid all of their death boards, I might be able to really pull it through for this team. I was one of our hardest hitters, and with a defensive bonus against at least the vast majority of them, we probably stood a good chance. And by this time, honestly, the numbers for the teams evened out. It was about 10 chickens to 11 bacons. In fact, we had the advantage by now. It all seemed pretty said and done in my eyes. But not every story can go exactly how you planned. So then the day came. I woke up early. I was on time, much to my surprise. I was worried I was going to sleep through. We all gathered at the OG Island pond, and honestly, I was nervous. We had a bad turnout. By the end, we only had 4 or 5 people showing up. But Steven was on our side, and he checked on the chicken gang over at Tory Island and reported that only about 3 of them showed up. So maybe it was gonna be okay. Maybe both sides just had a bad turnout. It really wasn't gonna be a big deal. We prepared at the ranch. We would come through the back of the forest, kind of surprise them a little bit since they'd be coming from Tory Island, and hopefully dominate them. And it would all be said and done easily. Now, this fight was probably going to take a while. You could come back as many times as you wanted, and the only win condition was all of the enemy team being dead at the same time, or all of the enemy team waiting on the sidelines. It was going to be a long, long war, and we were prepared for that. We had a lot of food stocked up. Now, unfortunately, we didn't have any teleports, but that's because no one had the skills for it. But we weren't worried about it. We don't think anyone else did on the enemy side either. And then we came across them and realized just what we were up against. And then morale plummeted. I've so desperately wanted to do PvP, but I've always felt too bad, so I just never have. But now's my time. I'm not even up front, I just want blood. And so we made it to our destination. For some reason there was only one chicken. Surely there were a couple more there, but it wasn't anything to worry about. Then there was a second. And it's like, okay, that's a little bit much, but why were they still in there? But, that's how it is. And then another. All right, 4. It was doable. Then 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9. We were outnumbered over 2 to 1. This was not going to go well. What's happening from their side? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Suddenly, I went from full of confidence and hopeful to nothing. See, I was aware of the combat mechanics in this game, and I knew more than stats, more than strategy, people, bodies mattered. And that's what they had. Sometime between when Steven had done Lookout and when we'd seen them, a lot more showed up. And honestly, in that moment, I wanted to surrender. But deep down, I still wanted to fight, and I wanted to win. I wanted this to be a great story. I wanted this to be about how the Bacon Gang rose from nothing and defeated them and cemented themselves forever. But that's just not what this was. It was, at best, a massacre. Eventually, the time came. Steven was about to start countdown, and I honestly wanted to just give up. But I knew that was wrong. So I steeled myself. The countdown began, and I prayed for only the best possible outcome. A decent survival. Below, I can't lie. Yikes, bad damage roll. I have to eat. Yeah, the sheer numbers. Oh, okay, I got a 12 in. Okay, time to swap, time to swap. Oh god, what? Oh my god. Okay, I'm getting forced out. I can't get in, I can't get in. That was a 13 damage on that one. Okay, I need to eat. Oh god, I took a 7, I took a 7. I hadn't realized it then, but at this moment, I was the only survivor. In moments, all of my teammates were wiped out, and I was all that was left. I somehow had to get out of this awful situation, so I did my best. Shit. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? There's nothing I can do against an infinite. There's nothing I can do against an infinite. And that's how I went out. I was stuck between two people, taking constant knockback, not able to move, and not with enough healing to even try and buy myself any time. I tried to get food back and hope that one of my teammates had made it back in time and could still fight. But even then, I knew it was over, and there was nothing left for me at that point. Unfortunately, our time had ended much quicker than it had started. Surely not everyone's dead. Yeah, that was yikes. And as much as I had wanted to lie to myself, no one was there. It was just them. Frankly, it hadn't seemed like anyone even returned. It was a steamroll by the chickens, and the bacons lost. That was the end of our story. But at the end of the day, we all had fun with it. Sure, the chickens had won, but it was a good time. And like I said, that was the end of our story as a group. We lost that, but I'll find a way. I'll always find a way. I mean, I can't let all of that time go to waste, right?